Yeah.
How's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man, and welcome back to another episode of the monthly Otaku Collection. That's right, we're doing it again, ladies and gentlemen. It's the brand new year of 2020, the first month of 2020, and we're back with another monthly Otaku Collection. In all honesty, I didn't think I'd be able to do these monthly Otaku Collections for like too long, considering that this is essentially just like a dumpster unloading of all the things that I couldn't really talk about in the last month, the last 30 to 31 days or so, including the manga that I read, the anime that I watched, the merch that I bought, and of course, as always, a absolutely awesome figurine giveaway that I'm gonna do at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. When it comes to updates in my life and on my channel, not much is going on. I'm just trying all sorts of really cool videos that are hopefully going to be coming up within the next couple of weeks, and I mean, you guys have so far seemed to be really enjoying some of the content that I've been producing in 2020, so I appreciate you guys for that. Oh, and also, my debut album that I released about a month ago has actually hit 100,000 streams on Spotify, so that's fucking amazing. Thank you guys. If you want to know more details about the album that I made about a month ago, then boom, there's the video right there. Go and check it out for yourself if you're interested. But yeah, so far a lot of you guys have been streaming it on Spotify, buying it on iTunes, all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you guys for the support, and there will be more music to come out of me in 2020, so stay tuned for that. But in any case, let's get on with the otaku shit. First and foremost, let's talk about the anime that I watched, and this particular anime, or anime movie rather, that I'd like to introduce to you guys is a movie that I watched a very long time ago. I'm talking like almost 6 months ago at this point. But I couldn't really talk about it until now because for you guys over in the West, especially in the United States of America, this movie has only just come out like a couple of weeks ago. And that's right, I'm talking about the brand new Shinkai Makoto movie, Weathering with You. And I was really tempted to make just an entire video on Weathering with You because I have just so much to say about that movie, and I have a lot of things to praise about that movie, especially because I genuinely think that out of all the Shinkai Makoto movies I've seen, and I've seen them all, I think Weathering with You might be Shinkai Makoto's magnum opus. The one thing that I really enjoyed about Weathering with You especially is the dynamic of the romance between the two main characters. Now don't worry, that's not exactly a spoiler because every Shinkai Makoto movie is a romance between two of the main characters. But the romance between the two main characters of Weathering with You was something that we hadn't really seen from Shinkai Makoto, because the romance between these two was a flawed couple romance. What I mean by that is two of the characters in the romantic relationship are flawed in some way, whether it be personality, life choices, physical deformities, etc. And by coming together and meeting one another, they become a better person, they become a better couple, they become a better human being in society. Whereas in every other Shinkai Makoto movie, it is all based upon a perfect couple relationship, where the two characters in the romantic relationship are already pretty happy with their own lives and the people around them and the state of life that they are currently in before meeting one another. And by meeting one another, it's not so much that their life gets better, it's just that their life has changed in some way. I mean, you can say the same thing about Taki and Mitsuha in Your Name. Taki and Mitsuha were both pretty happy with each other's lives. They had friends, they had all sorts of, you know, pretty sustainable life options, and by meeting one another initially, they hated the fact that they were meeting one another. They hated the fact that the other person was ruining the other person's life. But then as they slowly got to know one another, slowly got to know their background personalities, it's that they finally realized, oh yeah, he/she is the one for me. Whereas with Weathering with You, the two main characters' lives were pretty in the dumps. And by meeting one another, they sacrificed essentially the entire world, the fate of the entirety of Tokyo, to be together. And I think that is just really fucking beautiful and definitely more interesting of a romantic relationship dynamic than it is with every other Shinkai Makoto movie. And Weathering with You definitely had some of the strongest side characters that I've seen in any Shinkai Makoto movie. The side characters in Weathering with You actually played really significant roles. not just on the two main characters, but also on the entire plot. There are some plot points that really couldn't have made it through as smoothly as it did if it weren't for the side characters and their established personalities that you get to see throughout the entire movie. And as always, Radwimps does an amazing job at the soundtrack. I think there was a better soundtrack personally than it was in Your Name. The ending song to Weathering With You is like in my heavy rotations currently. So yeah, if you do like your Shinkai Makoto, if you do like your romance and drama, then I definitely recommend you guys to go check out Weathering With You. And thanks to the sponsor of this portion of the video, G-Kids today, those of you living in the US can go check out Weathering With You in cinemas. You can check for tickets and all that kind of stuff by going to weatheringwithyoumovie.com, which is down in the description below. You can also click the link in the description below for your chance to win this Weathering With You merch giveaway package from G-Kids. So if you'd like to get your hands on all of that, make sure to go down to the description below, click on those links, and thanks again to G-Kids for sponsoring this part of the video. Alright, now let's move on to the manga. Now, 2020 is definitely the year for me to go and explore a whole lot more manga, and it's not like I haven't been doing that back in 2019. In fact, 2019 was really the start of my back to manga revival, but 2020 as well, or at least January this month, I've picked up on a few rather interesting series, rather interesting short form series. Two series that I only have volume 1s of, and one short form series which looked really interesting, so let's check them out. Now this first series is one that definitely got me with the title, because as you know, I am a boy and I love me my trashy, ecchi shows. Like if it's got boobs in it, if it's got ecchi elements in it, your boy's probably gonna dig it. And it was really interesting because as much as I got clickbaited into the title of this particular manga series, when I actually read it, it turned out to be just a really, really wholesome romance show. And it is this one right here. Now, as you can tell, of course, I got clickbaited into the image of the cover of this manga, but the title, which is really fucking long, also drew me in. It's called 今まで一度も女扱いされたことがない女騎士を女扱いする漫画. Say that 3 times fast. So the basic premise, and there isn't really much of a premise because it's kind of more like an Iyashike slice of life with this really buff female warrior. But essentially the whole premise is that this female warrior has never been treated like a lady before, never been treated like a woman, because she's tough. She's the strongest warrior in all of the land, when one day there is a single man who comes up to said female warrior and expresses his undying love for her. But of course, since she has never been treated like a woman in her entire life, she doesn't know what to do with herself. She's like, no, you don't want this muscly ass, battle scars and everything on my body. You don't want that. I'm not very womanly. Get away from me. But this man is like, no, I love that about you. I love your muscliness. I love your battle scars. I love that you're a fucking fierce warrior and yet you're still a beautiful woman. And basically it covers the day-to-day lives of this guy doing his absolute best to treat this female warrior in the most womanly of ways to try and win her over. And the weird thing is the way that this main character tries to win this female warrior over is not even done in a sexual way. In fact, it's very much the opposite. I've only seen maybe like one little page or two in one chapter of this first volume that even remotely indicates any kind of sexuality, because the rest of it is just really wholesome. And it's really strange that you'd get such a wholesome manga out of something that has a cover and title like this. Not gonna lie as well, the more you read this first volume at least, the more you start to be like, you know what? Muscly, battle scar ridden female warriors are kind of cute. So yeah, if you're into really particular genres of waifus like that, or if you just want some surprisingly wholesome romance slice of life stuff, then give this manga a go. The second series right here is a little more on the serious side, and by a little more I mean quite a bit, and is a little more on the not so wholesome side. In fact, there are many scenes in this particular manga that are quite ecchi intensive, which is really interesting because this is a Jump Comics Plus series, and I've noticed that recent Jump Comics Plus, which is the more, I guess, adult version of Shonen Jump, when it comes to their ecchi series, really tended to steer between a very borderline part of whether this is considered a shonen series or a seinen series. But either way, this manga, even though I only have volume 1 of it, I think holds a lot of potential, and it's brand new. It only just started serializing a couple of months ago, and it is this one right here, Rengoku no Toshi. Now, the first thing definitely that drew me into this particular manga is the art style. I mean, goddamn, she hot. And if you thought she was hot on the cover, wait till you open up this particular manga. I'm not going to, because I'm probably going to get a yellow dollar sign, but trust me, if you look at any of the pages, especially in these first couple of volumes, then, my god, you're going to fall in love with her so goddamn quickly. But basically, the premise for this is a little bit strange. So, it is based around Tokyo, yet it is based around a Tokyo that is not real, because it is nothing more than a projection that a bunch of aliens who have invaded Japan are portraying on people living in Tokyo. It's basically like this mind control that they don't realize is actually happening to them, except for this particular girl right here, who manages to convince the main character that the Tokyo we are living in is not the real Tokyo. There's some aliens up in the sky who are projecting these images of this fake Tokyo to try and control all of humanity, and I want out. And basically, from there on out, it becomes this kind of mind game, liar game kind of psychological battle between the humans trying to get out and the hyper-intelligent aliens controlling everybody. Now, mind you, I only have the first volume of this because, again, this is brand new. Volume 2 isn't actually out as of the recording of this particular video yet. But already from this first volume, I see a lot of potential in the story. It definitely does hold a lot more of a psychological feel to it. So if you like your psychological dramas, you know, like ones that are all about like trying to outsmart the other person, you know, series like Liar Game, 20th Century Boys, you know, that kind of psychological drama shows, I think you'll really enjoy it. Top that off with some beautiful fucking anime waifus and a really fucking clean and quite interesting and somewhat gory and intense art style as well every now and then you got yourself a pretty well established and pretty, you know, hype manga to come out in 2020. So yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, I definitely recommend you go check out Rengoku no Toshi. Again, it's just started, so if you like to get a head start on something that I think is going to be really interesting in 2020, give this manga a go. And this last manga right here is a one-shot manga, but the reason I picked it up is because it's done by one of my most recent favorite manga artists. Now, I have a lot of favorite manga artists out there, obviously you can tell from all the fucking manga in the background of my videos, but this particular artist is definitely one of the most unique when it comes to their style, their aesthetic, especially manga. I really haven't seen any other mangaka come even remotely close to the style of this particular manga artist. And the particular manga artist I'm talking about is a man by the name of Nakayama Atsushi. And his one-shot manga right here is this one right here. It is called Yurutto Hunter Wantan-chan, and really strange title, but let me quickly explain the premise. The premise is set around this alternative version of Tokyo where everything in life, everything in society is dictated by crane games. Of course, if you want prizes like plushies and figurines and that kind of stuff, you gotta play with the crane game, but even things like a house, a wife, a country even, are all dictated by people playing crane games for them. And in that society that is completely run and dictated by how good you are at crane games, there is this particular girl right here called Wantan-chan, who is considered in society to be the best crane game master. She can grab any prize that she desires from just one coin. And basically, this is a short form manga, which I don't know if it got cancelled or if it just ended because Nakayama Atsushi felt like he wanted to end it, where it goes through the trials and tribulations of her trying to rise to the top of this society dominated by crane games, while all these different challenges come out to try and stop her reign once and for all. Now, I briefly mentioned Nakayama Atsushi's manga in a video that I did a while ago called 10 Manga Series That Shouldn't Become an Anime. In that video, I talked about a particular manga series that he does and I fucking love called Nejimaki Kagyu, and how the art style is just so fucking wacky, and the way that he portrays movement and his panels is just so bizarre that it really might truly be impossible to adapt into an anime. And even with this one shot, Nakayama Atsushi proves that when it comes to unique aesthetics and unique styles of portrayal, especially in manga, like angles, facial expressions, just the way that dialogue is sometimes shifted in the space of the page is just so unique and so bizarre that he really is a one-of-a-kind manga artist. I mean, you can flip to any page of this manga and you'll just see that there's just something really different, unique about this particular art style. And I don't exactly know what it is about his art style that just draws me so much, but it's just so bizarre. And even his stories are just as bizarre, and his characters are just as bizarre as the art that he draws. So yeah, I've definitely become a huge fan of his stuff. There's another series that he has done which I'm also trying to collect all of the volumes of, and I'll probably introduce in a future monthly otaku collection. But yeah, if you like to, I guess, get started and adapt yourself to Nakayama Atsushi's very unique and particular art style, then maybe check out this particular manga right here, because again, it is only one volume. It's only like 4 or 5 chapters worth, very short form manga series. So yeah, if you're into it or want to check it out, definitely give this one a go. And with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time to end off this episode with a monthly figurine giveaway brought to you by the lovely folks over at Tokyo Otaku Mode. It's no surprise that a huge portion of why you guys come back to these monthly otaku collections is because of these monthly figurine giveaways, because goddamn dude, the stuff that I've been giving away these last couple of months have just been some it's just some weeb food. It's shit that we can feast upon for months at a time. And to kick things off for the year of 2020, I have managed to grab a figurine which I haven't even really seen being sold a lot anywhere. I don't know how rare this particular figurine is, but it definitely is something that a lot of you guys, especially you old-time manga fans and old-time anime fans from like the early 2000s, and the fact that I'm saying that the early 2000s were old just goes to show how old I have become. But if you remember some top series from the early 2000s, then I think you're really gonna dig this particular figurine. And we are talking about this figurine right here. Now, some of you may not recognize this immediately off the bat, but for those of you who have ever watched the early 2000s anime Angel Beach, which is personally one of my favorite series of all time, then this is Tachibana Kanade, or Angel as she is called in the series, and her in her angel yukata formation. And I mean, look how fucking pretty this thing is. My god. Like, first of all, I have very rarely seen a Tachibana Kanade figurine just in general, let alone her in this really fucking adorable kimono and with the angel wings. It's like, for every Angel Beats fan, this is like a match made in heaven. And the size as well is pretty big. I believe this is a 1:8. This is a 1:8 scale. I mean, I think it looks a lot bigger because the wings are just so massive. But yeah, I don't have any Angel Beats figurines either, so when I saw this, I was like, god damn, I want this and I want to give this away. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this video, because you guys who stuck around to the end of this monthly otaku collection can go and enter the free giveaway to win yourselves this beautiful Tachibana Kanade figurine with the box signed by your boy. To enter the giveaway, as always, all you have to do is follow 3 simple steps. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to click that link down in the description below to again enter the free giveaway. And if you wish on Anime Jesus hard enough, you might end up winning yourself this beautiful Angel Beats figurine. So good luck. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Monthly Otaku Collection. Thank you once again for everybody who joined in until the very end. Let me know about your personal Monthly Otaku Collection of January 2020 down in the description below. What manga did you read? What anime did you watch? What merch did you get? And as long as you guys are enjoying these Monthly Otaku Collections, I'll keep on making them and I'll keep on providing the sauce. I've got some banger videos coming out within the next couple of months that I'm kind of really experimenting with. This is like new type of content that I haven't really done before, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But regardless guys, thank you again for joining in until the very end, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe for more anime banter, keep watching anime. Johnny!